Hey guys, welcome to the Jen Lowry Writes channel. All right, so this one is for all of my homeschool families and my parents out there who understand that they have a huge responsibility with their child's GPA, educational outcomes. They understand that they have to play the role of guidance counselor. This is a wonderful role. And I do not want it to intimidate you, just scare you in any way. So I want to alleviate the fears about the GPA. So if you don't know about these resources, go ahead and start pulling up Windows. So I'm going to screen share and you will be able to see all of the things that I click. I'm also going to put it down in the description. I'm going to talk with you about my role as not only a teacher, an administrator, because I'm his principal too, but I'm also his guidance counselor. And a part of that is understanding the role of the GPA and how he truly needed to diversify his transcripts in order to be able to hold his weight among other applicants, because my student was college bound from the beginning. Okay, so I think that it's really clear. They do not have to know what they're majoring in. That's not necessary. They do need to know what pathways they want to take. So if your child is in the public school, they may be, for example, on a future ready course pathway. That means that the courses that they're taking, that, they're going to all compile together to meet the minimum requirements for your state, but also for possibly university systems to look. Because, for example, university systems in our state require 2 semesters of foreign language. And so if my son was not on this college track, then he would not necessarily have to take those foreign language requirements. But because he is, that was definitely something that we knew we needed. So I can do a whole nother video on how to diversify the transcript. I am going to show you the transcript today, just so you can understand that you need to keep running records from freshman year, not middle school as far as for colleges. You do need to do that for your own homeschool checklist. And of course, if they're in public school, they're going to receive their report cards. You do need to save those just for mementos, just for like keeping them in a folder. It never hurts to be able to look back over your child's academic career, because you may forget a really great course option that they could take in high school that they might have done well with in middle school. So for example, if they took a computer class in middle school, they did really well on it. You may be forgetting about that when it comes time for their fall registration or their spring registration. You could look back at their old transcript, their old report cards, and say, do you remember when you took that class? You might want to take it again at the high school level because you excelled in that. I remember you saying you loved it. Kids forget, parents forget. So it's really important that you keep that. Okay, so that's a whole nother video. I want to tell you now that I'm going to screen share and I'm going to take you on over to Google. Just type in GPA Calculator. I had a request to make this video and I was like, okay, let's go for it. You don't want college GPA. Mamas, we're talking high school GPAs right now. Dads, that's where we're at. So I need you to go to the GPA Calculator. Oh, look, you can learn more, whatever this is. Okay. Super, super easy website to use, okay? But it's not going to save your stuff. So that's why it's important that you keep your stuff somewhere else. You keep a running record. You need to do that anyway. So let's just go ahead and put in a grade, okay? And this is where you need to do this with your child. You need to teach your child how to do the GPA calculator. It shouldn't just fall on your hands to do the final report. But you also need to do the GPA calculator when you are setting up this course schedule, because I'm going to show you how things change and how you need to convince your student to do different levels, okay, different course types. Okay, so let's just make like they're going in their freshman year, okay? So they are going to take some kind of PE, they're going to take an English, they're going to take a world history, they're going to take earth science. I'm just basing this off of North Carolina, and I teach 9th grade, so it's really easy for me to know this. Okay, So this is what I do at the very beginning of the semester with my ninth grade students in the public school too. And I do this with my homeschool children, and I'm like, look, you get 1 credit for each one of these. So you see how you just go in and you change. Now I want you to look at your choices. So for example, at our school, in our public school system, you cannot be a ninth grader and take AP. However, with my homeschool child, my child could take AP. Okay, so, but for English 1, no, we just did honors. For PE, we did regular, even though they do have an honors PE. Okay, world history, we did AP in ninth grade. Earth science, we did honors. All right, so here you go. Let's see what happens if my child gets straight A's. For that semester, it would have a 4.5. Guess why? You say, wait, I didn't know it could go over a 4.0. Well, in today's world, you get weights for AP and honors. So let's just say, well, my child is not ready to do, some of the more rigorous demands of an AP or a regular course, and I don't want to subject him to that, and I just want to make him take regular courses. And you can see you've got a 4.0, which is nothing to about and freak out about. I mean, that's actually really good. However, if you just decide, you know what, I understand that he's at this level, we're going to push the limits in these English and this history, or we're going to have these 3. That is without the AP, okay? I will tell you now, I am so thankful that I had my child experience the AP. And we bought the AP Barron's book. I'm not saying that's the only one and it's the best one. I'm just saying that's the one I got, okay? There's tons out there. We did AP practice. We were on YouTube videos with AP practice, but we also got a world history book, and we worked ourselves through that college level textbook, because AP is college level material. And my child passed the AP test in world history. You have to go, that's a whole nother video on how to take the APs if you're a homeschool family, but you need to look at it. It does show the rigor on the transcript. It does say this is a serious-minded student who is already ready to get college credits. In ninth grade, he's ready. My child was ready. So when I had the discussion with my senior about his younger brother, about his plan, his course of action, because we had a reflection meeting with our guidance office, if that's what you want to call it. And I was just saying, so if you could do things differently, what would you do? And he was like, oh, you're wanting to know about Sam. And I'm like, yep. And he was like, make sure Sam is taking Earth Science AP. Make sure he takes that. And make sure he's taking the World History AP. And then when he gets to be in the biology, make him take that AP. And I'm like, wait, you're wanting him to take these APs? He said, yes, but then when he's in 11th grade, he needs to do the dual enrollment. But I do want you to beef up his AP, because what happened with us is after his 9th grade year, he did not do any more APs. He did an AP his 9th grade year, and then he went into dual enrollment. So he wanted Sam going into the future, and since Sam wants to be a biologist, Solomon's opinion, and I think it's very warranted, is that he has some APs with the science-heavy APs. And then, so my son's majoring in history, so his is going to be AP history, and then his dual enrollment was leading towards history. So we've already discussed like the ways that we can do this kind of thing. So I just wanted to give you guys some of the discussions that we have at the guidance table, which is the kitchen table over coffee. And so here's how you calculate the first semester. Now, what if you are going along and you say, wait, but my kid is a junior. All you have to do you see this where it says add course, add semester? All right, so now we're doing semester 2. But you've got to start with their 9th grade year, okay? And this is where kids don't understand it, parents, because they're not told this thing. They don't understand about their grade point average, their GPA at all. Because when they were in middle school, they did not have to worry about their cumulative averages, how it stacked up over time. They were just looking at their report card. Oh, I got A, B honor roll. Or, oh, I made a C in this. And man, I'm so glad I got that D in this course because that means I passed it and I'm out of here. And they get that. They get the interim. They get that report card, but they don't understand this stacking and what it looks like over time. When they get into 9th grade, they don't understand that what they make their first semester can set them off in a positive note. They don't get that unless you allow them to sit here with this GPA calculator and play around with it, okay? And I know you're saying, wait, you're allowing them to try to manipulate a system. No, I'm not. I'm trying to help them become prepared to understand that they need to put the work in now, because if they don't, and they don't take their freshman year seriously, it's going to be really, really hard for them to dig themselves out of the holes that they are putting themselves in by failing a course or by making D's and even C's. And you're like, but they're not perfect. Okay, I'm not saying they have to make all A's, but they need to keep ABs in their sights, and they need to understand how this thing works and how it calculates. And sometimes this black and white right here in your face calculator can make them have this aha moment that they're missing. And it's just because they're not being told this in the school systems, okay? They're getting passed up without understanding how all of this works. You cannot wait till senior year to figure out your GPA. You can't wait till senior year to care about internships and volunteering. You cannot wait. When you become a freshman, if you know you're college bound, and I'm not saying you have to know what you're going to major in, but you know you want to go to college, you really, really need to start developing your organization skills, your time management, and your work ethic. And you need to start learning how to study. And you need to apply those principles your 9th grade year, so you can set yourself off for success, and you don't have to kick yourself later and start feeling some guilt and start feeling bad and saying, oh no, I woulda, coulda, shoulda done this when I was a freshman. No, just start off strong as a freshman and keep it up. Use this calculator as a motivator to you. Okay, what do you want your end goal to be? One, you want to get your credits, right? You want to graduate high school. You want to graduate on time with your peer group. These are 3 major accomplishments that you want to do. Why not say that you want to get good grades and you want to turn it around? I have seen students who have had a poor show of grades their middle school years, hit 9th grade, running with a great use of their energy and motivation, and they turn it around. You can turn it around too. So if you want to go to college, work on your GPA and know what's coming. So let's play around with courses. So let's say your second semester. Okay, you got this 4 point. We're going to take, because if you're in a regular, they may give you a couple of honors, a couple of regular. Okay, here you go. You ready? Now let's say, what's your other classes you got to take as a freshman? You got to take math. And let's say math, you say, ooh, I'm not taking honors in math, and I'm making a C. Every time you have a C, it is a 2.0. And I'm going to teach you how you can do this on just a regular calculator. I've taught my kids that, but then over time, I just think it's easier here. Honestly, it helps you keep up with it. And then you are physically typing it in. And I also think that has something to do with it. that whole goal setting kind of thing. Okay, so you have to take English, you have to take world history, earth science, PE. Well, you took heavy hitter courses right here. You get to take math, and now you get to pick you some electives. So let's say you take financial management, and you make a B in that one. So there again, that's some math. And then let's say you take child development, and you get to carry around that baby in the stroller. And you like that class a lot. You had that little baby and that egg or whatever y'all are doing in child development. Then you decided, well, you know what? I really like that health and PE class, and I think I want to take nutrition. Okay, look at your second semester GPA. A 3.0. What? And you had A's and B's, and you only had that one C? Yes. And then look what happens to your cumulative. Now you're down to a 3.6. And so I'm going to take you to a site that we went to so many times. I cannot tell you how many times I've been on the site. Okay. I am serious. Go to search. We're just going to type in UNC Chapel Hill. I went to NC State, but I'm going to do Chapel Hill. All right. So you pick your colleges, right? Do you see under applying how many people applied? How many were admitted? How many decided to go there? Look, there's 5,000 on a wait list. And look at that. So you've got like, I think a 23% acceptance rate. It is selective. But you say, well, this is my school. This is where I want to go. You need to look at the GPAs. Look at, are you on track? Look at the course requirements. You need to come here and check it out. And you need to understand, do you see class rank? What's your class rank? Look how the percentage of the people that are incoming freshmen, how much they rank. And how does your GPA stack up? Wait a minute. There I was. I was at a 3.6 if you're using this as like a mock score, right? Look, 3.6. You're telling me that I'm with 2% of the applicants? Wait, that's a lot. Oh, no. No, it's not a lot. That means you're at the bottom. That means most people have a 3.75 or higher that are getting into Chapel Hill. So you need to understand what this looks like. And so if you go to East Carolina University, one of my students went to East Carolina. So I'm giving them a shout out today because they have one of my students that I worked with as a freshman. Look, it is less selective. 79% of their applicants are admitted. And so let's go to GPA. Shows you what you need to take. Look at their different ranks. Now, here you go. Now you're with like 19% instead of what you just saw at 2%, okay? Which means that, approximately 20% of the applicants that have applied and have been accepted as a freshman have this same GPA as you. And so it's not to say that you won't get into there. It's still going to be selective for you because your GPA is not in this top tier. So that means you're going to really have to work your internships, your volunteering, your essay, your SAT score. You're really going to have to look at other ways to put yourself apart in that application. So why not consider a 3.75 plus as your goal? Why not go ahead and say, I want that 4.0. In fact, I'm going to dedicate myself to study, to tutoring, to whatever it takes at the school. Guys, the schools offer so many options for you. They have all kinds of tutors. You just probably don't even know about it. We offer tutoring programs. We have student tutors. You can ask people to help you. You can work with your teachers. So if you have an area you really need to put the extra work in, you're going to thank me for this later. And so let's say math might not be that subject for you, but with tutoring, you're really trying your best to turn it around. You get a B in there, and now you're at the 3.75. Okay? Now, nutrition, you should have got an A in that. All it took was for you to study that. And you know what? Financial management, if you would have just done that PowerPoint presentation and really, instead of saying, I got a good grade in here, I'm going to take the B. If you would have just really done the extra work that you needed and maybe done a test correction, look at that. 4.0, guys. As a freshman, setting yourself up. Please set yourself up. And then you just keep adding semester after semester, change these, go on and go ahead and start signing up for these honors courses because it's going to help you over time. Look at how you need to balance your schedule so you're not taking heavy hitters all at once if you feel like you need extra time to study for a certain content. And so you've got a lot of literacy-based work, and then you've got application-based works. And so you need to kind of balance those out with your electives and your in your course schedule. So like in this schedule, you had no electives except PE. It would be great if you did 2 electives and 2 major courses, 2 of your core courses. We call them core classes. So if you get 2 and 2, it helps to balance it out, and then you can help balance your study time out. I would really suggest that you do this and you continue to do it and go down the line and look at courses that you have wonderful skill sets in, things that could interest you. Because when it comes time to scheduling, I think that that has a huge play on your GPA. Because let's be honest, you're going to be more motivated to do well in a class if it's a class that you enjoy. Okay. I have kids all the time and they'll say, well, I don't know what I'm going to take. I don't know what it is. So I just picked one. And then when they get in there, they don't like it. Well, they didn't pick it. They just randomly got selected into something. Don't take creative writing unless you love to write, because then each time you have an assignment due, you'll think to yourself, why did I sign up for this? This is not my jam. This isn't my thing. You know what? Creative writing is my thing. I would have signed up for that if my school would have offered it, but they didn't. But I'm saying that would have been something I would have excelled in. Pick classes that match your skill set. And if you're an artist, choose Art 1. I mean, it just makes perfect sense. Go and have some relief during the day, some stress relief. Go in and be surrounded just by the smells and the colors and the environment. Find places where you fit and take some classes that fit you. So take ownership of your GPA. 1, learn how it works cumulative. Play around with all of this regular, honors, AP. Now, when you come here, I want to show you college. Those are the dual enrollment ones. So I'm just going to show you what ends up happening if you take the college courses. But you're not going to be taking 4 college courses all at once. So you need to still balance it out. But look what ends up happening with semester grades when you do dual enrollment. So I want to really suggest dual enrollment, AP, mix yourself up on your transcripts, and really show your best foot from freshman year on. Do not wait, please. You're going to say, why did I do that? That course was so easy. And then you'll be going, you know what? All I would have had to do was turn the material in on time, work with my teachers, study for those tests. They gave me study guides. Why didn't I study them? Do the test corrections, do the things that you need to do. It's to go to lunch tutorials, stay after school if they're willing to help you. Put your study time in at home. Yes, study. And build yourself successful habits as a freshman. And when you get those A's and B's, you can email me and you can say, thank you for showing me this video because you just changed the course of my academic career. because this GPA calculator can open your eyes because you just don't know. You've never been taught before, and that's okay. Now you know. So you have no excuse because you do not want to have a semester of big-time mess-ups when you have control. You know how sometimes you feel like you don't have control over these situations in your life? You got control over the work effort that you put into your classes. Take ownership. Take control. Get a handle on it early. All right, I'm going to show you a generic transcript. Okay, I like the Baltimore Ravens, so I have created you a transcript. So if you're in public school, you get copies of your transcripts on your Power School, okay? You can look at your historicals. You can see your GPAs calculated for you at the bottom. However, you can't see your projected GPAs because it's not there yet. The classes have not been populated yet. You can go and play around on the GPA calculator and populate new GPA scores to see what you need to do in classes in order to get over that 3.75 to try to maintain. And so when you are in your freshman year, I'm showing you how you need to diversify. If you can't take AP your freshman year, make sure you're trying to take as many honors as you can, but balance them, okay? Please balance. Then when you are in your sophomore year, continue to investigate some honors courses and take courses that are fun, that you like. And then when you're a junior or sophomore, if you're ready, start taking some dual enrollment. Start looking into dual enrollment at the community colleges and take college transfer courses, okay? So, a lot of people want to take 4 years of foreign language. You can do that. Just start it off, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or you can do 2 year freshman, 2 year sophomore, or 2 year junior, 2 year senior. So those are different ones you can pick. But look at your dual enrollments, okay? And make sure that these dual enrollments are going to count as credits, because you really don't want to take like art appreciation and music appreciation in the same semester, because one will turn into a general ed requirement and one could possibly turn into an elective. And so think those things out. Start looking at transfer credits at the colleges that you're going to apply to. Everything is transparent. It might take you a couple of clicks to try to find the transfer list, but when you're planning your transcript and your GPA, pick classes that matter to you. Pick classes that you match your skill set, but also pick classes that you know that you're going to get that dual credit and maximize the dual credit, okay? So that's how I'm going to give you that advice today. Cumulative GPA ends up being a 4.44. You can go down and you can look at all these beautiful A's. When you do dual enrollment, your college that you're dual enrolling with, they will also have to submit your transcripts for you. And so you've got 2 different transcripts. You've got a high school transcript running and a college transcript running that has your dual enrollment. So you're going to have to take all of those, put them on this kind of transcript, and use that GPA calculator and just change that class to college. And so it only takes really, by the time you're a senior, it takes you about a good 15 minutes. And what I did is I would pull the screen up. I would ask my son to pull up the GPA calculator. He would type in code, like he didn't have to type in English 1. He could just put E1 and put his grade. And I would call it out. He would type it in. We would calculate his GPA every single semester. And we did it so we would be aware of what we were looking at as far as scheduling, how many dual enrollments we needed to keep his GPA going strong. So we actually would pre-plan prior to the registration. I suggest you do the same thing. It just makes sense. And it gives your kid that understanding what they need to do from the day the syllabus is released and they have to start doing their work. It's like, oh, remember when we did the GPA calculator? So if you've got an 89 in this class and then that teacher says, well, you can get extra credit, are you going to take the extra credit to get that 10-point scale 90? Or are you just going to say, no, I'm doing well. I'm fine. No, you're going to do every single extra credit. You hear me? Every single extra credit. Because when they offer it, it's rare. So if they do, take it. Even if you have an A, take it, because it continues to give you a cushion in the course, and it shows that you're serious-minded and you're wanting to learn the material and you're wanting to put your best foot forward, even if you have an A. So that is how you do the GPA calculator. I made my transcripts on Canva using a template. This is a generic transcript just for you guys. I hope that this has been a helpful video. Thank you out there for requesting how do you use the GPA? How do you create a GPA to start with your student? You need to be doing this along with your child, whether they're in public, private, charter, homeschool, whatever your designation is with your child. Your child is your educational responsibility too until they turn 18 and they graduate. You playing the role of guidance counselor is only going to help set your student up for success. So don't always depend on public institutions to be able to do all of this work with your child. They may never show them a GPA calculator. They may never have a course or some type of workshop their 9th grade year that lets them know what happens with a cumulative GPA. You need to show them yourself, okay? So take this and use it and let me know how it's going. And if you would like any other educational videos, just please email me, jenlowrywrites@gmail.com, and I can make some more videos for you guys that can help you successfully not only just run your homeschool or whatever, but to motivate your child. So I hope you've watched this with your student so they could have, heard these do this, do that from someone else. Because guys, I'm serious. This is nothing to joke about. Play around on that College Board website if you don't believe me, and go start looking at your colleges that you say you want to go to. Start looking at those GPAs and do it early. Do it the summer before going into your 9th grade year, so that way you can understand that you've got competition out there now. You do. You're entering into a college application competition pool. And so not only is it GPAs, it's internships and volunteering. If you want me to give you some tips and tricks on that, I will. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.